You had a TikTok live, and I just saw you handling questions from users. You currently have 8 clients from TikTok live. Talk to us about your strategy, why you started it, what you do on these lives, and how you actually convert into clients. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Walkthru, the most underrated, valuable marketing show in real estate history. I am Eric Simon, aka The Broke Agent, and I am joined here by my best friend in the world, Jason Cassidy. What do you think of that, Jason? Best friend.
I like that. And is it because I gave you good sports picks over the weekend? You're happy with
me
again?
I'm happy with you. You are my best friend now. You give me winners. That's all it takes.
The last 4 weeks have been pretty rough then for our friendship.
Exactly. But you are back in my good graces. Today we have on a very special guest, and this is a very special episode. I know I say that every week, but we're going to cover a topic, a social media strategy that we have never touched before on the Walkthru. We are joined here by a SoCal realtor, Bailey Dixon, who has closed or who has 8 clients currently from TikTok Live. Bailey, how are you doing today?
I'm good. Thank you guys for having me. How are you?
Great.
Fantastic.
Thanks for being on the show.
Honored to have you here. And this is going to be a fun episode because Jason and we're not big TikTokers. You know, we scroll the app occasionally, but we haven't been posting that much. But Bailey, I actually tuned into one of your TikTok lives a few months ago, and you are a master when it comes to handling these. So natural, handling all these questions. So I want to hear how you actually get leads from that. But first, we have breaking news, Jason. This just came out that Instagram is testing a Reels algorithm with control options. So they're making a new push to get people to manually guide the Reels content that they see in the app with a new algorithm overview. So they just announced this new algorithm control option last month, and it's going to be made available to some users where you could actually pick and choose the interest of what you actually want to see in your algorithm. So one social media influencer has gotten access to this. So let's play this video and then we can react to it.
Is choosing what you get shown next. This algorithm functions as a kind of black box. Even the Instagram employees who built the algorithm cannot explain every time why the algorithm picks what it picks. That's because the algorithm determines what to show you next based on trillions of data points about what tends to keep people engaged. And as we all know, oftentimes that content is not exactly the most intellectually nutritious. But now, with the new steerable feed that I've been testing for the last week, I was able to get a glimpse into my algorithm. I could see what types of content Instagram had learned that I liked and what I didn't. And most importantly, I could edit it. Since recommendation-based feeds gained traction in the mid-2010s, social media has slowly been shifting from users choosing what they want to see based on who they follow to having what they see chosen for them. Many tech leaders, companies, and the general public have pushed back, saying that people have the right to choose their own algorithm. Companies like Blue Sky and tech leaders like Jack Dorsey have championed this idea for some time. And now Instagram seems to be joining the movement. I could not be happier about the precedent that this would set if they decide to roll it out for healthier screen time. Thank you to Adam and to the rest of the team for trusting me with this access. And while I have you as a final request, if I could get my name on Instagram changed back to CatChatGPT like it was before, that would be great. Okay, thanks.
All right, so that's pretty big news. If you could actually curate your algorithm, that basically changes the way we consume content. Jason, thoughts on this?
I've got a few thoughts. First and foremost, I would be interested to see how many people actually use this, because you kind of can do this now, but you have to almost manually go in and start unliking posts or not reporting, but saying show me less of this. So you have that option. And because the algorithm takes that into consideration as a data point, if you go in now to golf stuff and you say, show me less of this, you'll stop seeing the golf stuff. You know what I mean? So that, now you're kind of topic basing it instead of post basing. Now it does seem like it's going to be easier because you can just say show me no political content. And then you don't have to manually go at it. So I like that. That's cool. I do think that I think there needs to be a little bit more, and who knows, we don't have it yet. I just checked, right? And nobody has this yet. So if I say show me more real estate content, that's broad. I want to see more great listing videos and educational content, but less Remax posts and templates of just people's just listed, just sold, right? I actually want some more almost sliders or more within. But that being said, I think it's good. I'll be interested to see if anybody actually use it, because the trillions of data points of algorithm now is probably better at knowing what I want to see anyways. So I'll be interested to see, like, if I tell it something, is it going to override that? You know what I did do, I had never done this the first time around, is I went in today as I was researching out for this pod and I reset my algorithm. We had talked about this maybe like 3 months ago when it came out, and we're like, oh, who cares? It'll give it a week. It'll be right back. But I did that this morning. So we'll see now if it obviously changes at all, but I don't know. I think it's a great idea. I think it's better for us if we can curate our own feeds, and then it's better for creators because theoretically now it's going to get in front of more of the right eyeballs, right? It's like my real estate stuff will get in front of people who selected real estate. So we'll see how it goes. But I think it could be a great idea.
Well, let's hear next week from you on what your algorithm has evolved into. I'm sure it'll be exactly the same. Bailey, is this something that you're going to use? And do you think this will affect real estate content at all?
I can definitely see myself using it to interject my algorithm, but to be honest, my algorithm's in a sweet spot right now where I feel like I'm seeing the right thing. But I kind of what
are you seeing, Bailey?
Yeah, what are you seeing?
Lots of real estate from other agents. It's mostly other agents in my feed, and I like that. So I know a lot of keeping up with the competition, but also kind of picking apart what's not working and applying that to my own game.
Smart. So yeah, consuming content from other agents, obviously a really, really good move if you are trying to get inspiration for content. I think first of all, Jason, what I would do is I would select don't see other real agents on my algorithm, not Remax agents, real agents. That way I would not be flooded with.
Yeah, here you go, subconsciously bringing another real agent onto the show in Bailey, and you didn't even know that he was on my homeboy Jeff McGonigal's team up in Orange County.
Jeff McGonigal, he's going to be on our Forward Together live stream that we're doing on October 23rd. I didn't know you were on his team. That's awesome. And the real agents make good content. We know this already. Here's the thing, Jason. This could be a problem for some real estate agents because if you are only focused on making real estate content, as we've said before, and you're not doing hyper local, you're not doing community-based content, you might not hit these people, right? So if you are not actively selecting real estate as your interest because you're not in pursuit of buying or selling a home in that time, then guess what? You're never going to pop on the people's feeds that just select sports or search, say I live in Los Angeles, local news, stuff like that. I assume people will all select local news. So this might be even better for the people that create hyperlocal content.
I think so too. It's just making it more and more important, right? And you can't be everything to all people. So like, I'm not saying if you're running your Instagram account, which is a real estate page, you should also be doing restaurant reviews, breaking news stories, new developments, and political news and sports news, right? You can't do everything to make sure you get in front of all people. You're a real estate agent, and then but doing hyperlocal content kind of goes hand in hand with your real estate brand because what they want in an agent is someone who knows their local area. So I think it actually helps the hyper local people more here because it allows you to break out of that little walled garden and get into their feed even when they're not looking at real estate.
100%. Great point. We will update you when this feature actually comes out, if it comes out, because you're going to want to curate your own feed. I know what I am going to unselect. That way, if my wife ever sees my Explore feed again, I will be safe. There will be nothing else there.
Just tell Ann it's all Taylor Swift and
it's Taylor Swift and just people that happen to look like Taylor Swift. I don't know how this keeps happening.
Weird.
All right, moving on to the reason we are all here. Bailey, I came across, as I mentioned in the intro, you had a TikTok live and I just saw you handling questions from users. You currently have 8 clients from TikTok live. Talk to us about your strategy, why you started it, what you do on these lives, and how you actually convert into clients.
No, for sure. The biggest thing that really got me into it was there's one specific lender. His name's Nate. He did very similar style where it's a lot of ask me anything or what can you qualify for. And I noticed after I started watching him, I had 15, 20 different lenders popping up in my feed doing the live. And the number one thing I caught on to is always lenders and never agents. But I noticed a lot of good traction, a lot of good feedback on these lenders lives. So I was like, okay, somebody has to do it. And if nobody's doing it, that was the biggest thing I was looking for at the time was what kind of content can set me apart? What kind of content are agents not doing at all or little of right now? So I started it really just to test the waters and see, I wasn't even thinking in the forefront of my mind, like getting clients, more so building a following and getting some of that attraction and viewership. That way my actual videos and pictures could start doing well as I posted my actual content. And before I could really start building my following, I started getting DMs, inquiries, people asking for phone numbers, like as they're in the comments. And the light bulb went on fast that like I just had to start funneling that through. So it quickly turned into a big pillar of my business and an actual strategy of attaining clientele and helping people buy and sell just from talking to me through a quick screen. And now it's something that I take very serious and do full time.
So yeah, let's break down what you do on these lives. Like, are you sitting there with like a, dancing around or something? Or are are you saying just ask me anything about real estate? Like, what do you title it? When do you go live? And then what sort of questions are you fielding?
Perfect. No, it's super chill, honestly. I use a background that is always a different picture of a house I've been in. I usually do the new builds just because they're staged all done up on the staging. They look nice. But I have just stock images in my phone from houses I've been through at work. And then from there, I do that instead of the black background or the clear background because it seems to be more polarizing. I feel like it gets people to stop the screen a little more. And I had done it with a plain black background, and I wasn't getting people to stay. And then I just put a caption on top of that says "Realtor in California. Ask me anything." A lot of people ask me why I don't put SoCal or Orange County or LA. And really, it's for referral business and for putting people in safe hands across the state. And obviously, being licensed in the state, you can talk for the whole state. So I keep it that to, again, attract more viewership. And then from there, it really isn't ask me anything. Like, you get some cool comments, you get some heinous comments. Keeps it entertaining. But yeah, in there, it's really just me. I'm just focused on being myself and shooting people super straight. I don't sugarcoat anything. I'll give people my take on real estate. I'll give people my take on their personal situations. And then also just, the basic questions that I would have on any phone call with a potential buyer or seller. And then from there, I'm usually targeting either 7 o'clock or 9 o'clock in the evenings, Monday through Thursday. Those are the times that I personally, my algorithm has done the best for me. I've tried some lunchtime streams. I've tried some morning streams as people are getting ready for work. My algorithm really does well with the nighttime folks. And I'm a night owl myself, so it kind of checks out because that's when I'm actually using the app. The 7 p.m. I like because people are kind of getting off work, getting settled in. The 9 p.m. I love because everybody's doom scrolling. So you're just catching everybody eating up their content, going through their feed. That's when people do have a lot of time in the world to just sit and watch you ramble. And that's when I've noticed people have the highest feedback and engagement when it comes to commenting, following, shooting me a message, and not just sitting in there silently. And then on the weekends, I try to go on the weekends. Kind of depends on my schedule. If I'm going live on Friday through Sunday, Friday is going to be early evening. Saturday, Sunday is going to be sometime in the afternoon when people are in between chores and church.
How long are these sessions? Yeah, go ahead, Jason.
Yeah, no, I'm looking at your past sessions here on TikTok. It looks like you've done a lot, but it looks like when you started, so the first one you did was like 12 minutes, 0 likes. Then you went back. Oh, then you actually carried it on the same day, did another like 45 minutes, nothing. And then the third one, the next day, popped, and you went for like 30 minutes and had 1,300 likes. Like, what happened between the first one and the second one? Or, like, what was the science there? Because then from that point on, it's great.
Yeah, and I mean, I feel like viewership-wise, I've already peaked because if you scroll through there's a point in time where I was doing like 6,000-7,000 views in an hour, which feeds in really well. So both you guys' questions together, Eric, I do them for about 45 minutes to an hour at a time. That's when TikTok will kind of start giving me less viewers, is about that after that 45 to 60 minute mark. So based on that, Jason, I don't really know what set it off. I think it was just my consistency because I sat through a couple lives of no comments, people not talking to me. You're literally staring at a screen talking to yourself, and you think you look crazy,
what were you saying?
People aren't watching your viewers.
Yeah,
just rambling about real estate, just like pretending I had questions in the comments. If I had clients texting me or calling me as I'm doing it, I'd take calls on live. I'd answer their text and be like, "Oh, my client just asked me this," and it's really just to keep going, so I'm not standing there silently. But yeah, I think I've told everybody if you're gonna go live, it's gonna be dead at first. And everybody I've talked to that's taken me up on it has had reports that they had very few viewers and comments in the first few. But TikTok rewards you as you're more consistent. So once my consistency started going, that was when I really hit my peak and started seeing numbers.
Yeah, I can imagine. I think when I've done these in the past, like live streams where there was nobody on there, I would just pretend that I was also live streaming on somewhere else. So like I would have the Instagram live and be like, "Oh, I got a question from YouTube," and there was no one on YouTube. You know what I mean? So it allows you to like kind of keep the conversation going. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
And I've been on your live, Bailey, and you said chill. You are extremely chill on these, like as it comes through on these podcasts, but it's a very welcoming environment. it's not like you don't feel like you're talking to some realtor that's going to talk down upon you. It's basically just like a very easy conversation you're having with a friend. And any question that someone's asked about, should I put 10% down, 20% down? How much can I afford? Like you were fielding all these questions with ease. And I assume this is also probably translated in a positive way to your general conversations with clients on the phones, objection handling, because you're basically taking in 10, 20, 30 comments at a time.
Yeah, 1000%. And I mean, I really carry myself that way in my business, period. I've been the type of agent where I know we're in sales, but I just don't like to come across salesy. I really try to keep the people the focal point of my business at all times. So that's made it easy on the lives to just be that way, especially because it's really physically, it's just you and your phone. So it's hard to be, I feel like it's hard to not just be yourself in a situation like that. But I want the people who are, it's a first impression. I want the first impression with people to be, I'm your friend, but you can trust me and I've got the guidance, but I'm not going to make it overbearing and I'm not going to be a weirdo and I'm not going to dive into every square inch of your finances right away because it's a long-term process. And I just try to deliver that through the screen as hard as possible. It's weird when it's not face to face, but a lot of the people that I've met in real life have told me you're just the same as you are on the screen. And I really just bring that back to what I tell the agents I train of, you got to be yourself. Nobody wants to work with a fluke or a fraud or somebody who feels like they're trying to fit in a box.
Yeah, for sure. How do you take clients, or how do you get the A clients off of TikTok and into a house?
It's got to be quick. I really give all the credit to speed to lead. But at the end of the day, if they're talking live in the comments, the biggest thing, and this is, I found the first hardest hurdle, getting them to my inbox. Because you saw some of the numbers on there, like I think the first one you said was big was 1,300 viewers. Out of 1,300 people, how many am I going to get to be entertained and sit and stay? And then out of that, how many am I going to get to actually click my profile and message me and start a one-on-one conversation? Because that's where their guard's up. So the biggest thing is I tell everybody off every answer. If I know there's some kind of value I can deliver in a conversation, and if I know there's some kind of chance that they could either be my client, one of my referral partners' clients, even on the agent side, if there's room for them to join my team or another team in their area, then I'm like trying to start any conversation. So I answer their question and I always end it with something along the lines of, shoot me a message if you want to talk more, shoot me a message if you want me to go in depth, if you want me to break it down. People ask like, what do I qualify for? Obviously not being a lender, I can't just do the numbers off the top, but I'll tell them, hey, based on what my clients with similar finance have seen, I'll give them a very rough estimate. Say, if you want an exact number, DM me. So just things like that of always bringing the call to action. Since there's no physical call to action, it has to be verbal for me on live. So I'm bringing that in every single time. And then once they're in the DMs, it's simple. Just try and get their phone number within the first. My rule is 3 messages, but I've really started to narrow that down to 2 because I don't want to waste people's time and I don't want them to waste my time. And if there's somebody who needs my help, I'd rather focus on them. So I tell them like quickly, if we're going to do this, we got to hop on a phone and I'll go over everything with you.
That's good. So push to the DM and then try to get their number in the DM.
Yep. 100%.
I wonder, have you heard of ManyChat, Bailey?
Yeah.
Is that applicable to TikTok, or is there a TikTok version of that?
What I've been told is ManyChat specifically is only Instagram. Don't quote me. I haven't looked into it myself.
Facebook.
I think that's right.
Yeah. And TikTok. I believe there's some kind of automations out there. I don't know why there wouldn't be. I've looked into some. I've thought about looking into the route of getting automations done. I haven't gone that route personally yet because I'm in a nice spot where I have a lot of consistency, but I don't feel fully overwhelmed yet. Depending on where we continue to trend next year is when I'll kind of start to consider actually automating some of it. Because I've even talked to some bigger agents who have stronger followings on Instagram and TikTok and do get overwhelmed. My friend Rosalinda does some property tours in LA that get like up to 1 million views. I asked her, I said, how overwhelming does it get? And she goes, dude, I can't filter all my DMs. I can't filter all my comments. And she refuses to automate because she doesn't like the lack of the missing human piece behind it. And that's where I kind of get hung up is I don't necessarily want to miss out on people I could help because it's just so quick and automated. But on the other hand, too, I don't want to get overwhelmed and then I'm not getting back to people. And then they found somebody in a week or two it took me to get back to them. So we're going to see what next year brings. But for now, I'm in a sweet spot where I can kind of tackle everybody.
Yeah, I imagine as it grows, that might be something that you might want to look into because when I do Instagram lives, which is very rare, I do it to promote events or live streams. So if we're throwing some big webinar or some event, or, you know, there's some episode of the Walkthru. I've never done this actually, but if say there was an amazing episode of the Walkthru, and I'll say, hey, drop the word BAM in the comments and I'll send you a link to this amazing episode we just did with Bailey Dixon on how he's getting clients from TikTok lives. Like, that's so easy for someone to just comment the word BAM and then it DMs them a link, that I think that will be useful at some point, especially if you're getting, you know, 1,300 viewers on these things, just to collect emails, just saying like, you know, give them something of value. Like, you know, hey, I don't know if you're interested in buying a home right now or selling anytime soon, but I have a weekly newsletter about all things California real estate. If you're interested in that, comment the word Dixon right now and I'll send this to you. Like, I think that
for sure.
Getting them in your email database. Again, I am not the TikTok live expert at all, but I think that could that could take it to the next level too, where you just start getting these people in your email database and not necessarily
for
just
sure.
in the DMs.
There's a lot of pillars I want to build out to it. I'm kind of letting it be a slow burn to see what really starts to get missing. Additionally, too, I've finally started to see consistently agents here and there in my live stream doing literally the same thing. Every time I pop in, they don't follow me. I've never seen them on my page, but the second I comment just the word hi or hey, or I'm an agent here in OC, like, oh, I've seen you. This is why I'm doing the live. And I'm like, I don't know. You're a silent viewer, but now that they're starting to catch up, I know it's on me to keep doing things different so nobody can catch up. So that's why I kind of want the slow burn. That way, as if I give them everything at once, then everybody's able to rip off and duplicate. I don't gatekeep, but I do want to stay on the top.
Well, now that you're on this podcast, maybe there's going to be a few other people that are actually doing this. So sorry for exposing your content strategy.
No,
well, I think like Emily McAllister, right?
Pages.
Emily has 350,000 followers on TikTok. Like, she should be doing this every week at least. You know what I mean? Because that's where she corners like her social side of the business. And so we've seen this with like Zach Faust and some others who crush the TikTok live world, and then they just like get business out of it. You know what I mean? I think it's a great, any live strategy is fantastic. Instagram live, Facebook live, whatever. It's just like the raw kind of like, this isn't polished. You're seeing it really live right now. I think that there's a lane for it. Matt Leonetti got into a nice cadence of doing this like every week, where he was just talking to the camera about what was going on in Toronto. Like, that type of stuff works really, really well. I think most of like Ken Pozek and Dan Parker and some of the biggest YouTubers like have a weekly live that they do, and it crushes. So I feel like it's the move.
YouTube and TikTok for sure. TikTok because it shows up just like YouTube in your For You page, lives do. Instagram doesn't push them nearly as much. Like, it used to even just at least pop up at the top, but my Instagram live numbers are trash. Maybe it's because I've just been promoting on it. That's probably why, because people are like, all right, he's hopping on. There's not going to be anything interesting here besides telling me he's going to some new webinar. But I wonder, Bailey, if you did other live streams on top of it. Again, I have no idea about this, but say you do your normal Monday through Thursday streams. Do you ever do a live stream like setting up for an open house or showing a property, or try different angles?
I've tried a couple where I'm in an open house, and if it's slow enough, or if I have a co-agent helping run it with me, I'll just walk in circles around the house showing it, and I'll just kind of be repeating myself, hey, we're at this open house, da-da-da-da. Those have done decent. Gets same thing, a little bit of traction, a little bit of questions. That one, if your algorithm does get kind of hyper local, you can hit some people who actually will reach out and be like, hey, I saw that open house. Is it still open? What time is it open till? When can we come see it? I've had that happen a couple times, which is nice. I've also, just like kind of getting a little more personal, or just taking a break from the real estate side of it. When I did my fantasy football draft, I live streamed that. I live streamed myself a couple weeks ago watching the game. So stuff like that, getting personal with it helps a lot with my audience. My audience likes me more and more because the ones that regularly come into my streams, when they see me doing some of that stuff, I've gotten really good feedback about it. But yeah, open houses, I've done some new build tours on there too. Gets a little bit of interest. It doesn't pop off like crazy because I feel like the missing piece is just that kind of initial visual hook. But it definitely appeases the people.
Yeah, with lives, people want their question answered. So if you're kind of walking around, there's less engagement because they just want to see their name pop up. Like, they want to see you address the person. Like, when you were live, I commented just so you would see me and say something. And I was just sitting on my couch. I was like, oh, sick. This guy just shouted me out. And it feels good no matter who's doing it. I don't care if it's, Cassidy talking to 3 people. I'm going to comment on his live to try to get his attention.
Totally.
That's why
you see the live reaction.
I try to recognize every single comment. Yeah. And even some of the trolls, like, they love it. I'm big on like, as long as it's not heinous or crazy cruel, like I'll do a little back and forth banner. And some of them love it because they're going through live after live after live, dropping the same troll comments. And so if I give it back to them, they'll be like, "Oh, you're funny, dude. Like GG's." I'm like, bro, whatever makes these people happy.
You know what I hear a lot of, Jason, is his live strategy is similar to the strategy that we're talking about for anyone on social media. Beginning was talking to literally nobody, right? Totally. Kept it consistent, was posting at a consistent time, going live at a consistent time, and he mixes in personal with business, trying different backgrounds, trying different hooks. He's talking to both agents and realtors. Like, it's just fascinating to me that this is a whole new level of content that we have not touched that would be epic.
And unless I'm missing it, like he actually only did it for 2 days before it popped off. Like, right? Unless it's not showing me some of these things, but your first one was September 16th.
I think it only goes back a certain log. I started consistently back in February.
Okay, never mind that. I was going to say maybe it only went back a month.
Yeah, I wish it showed the full log going back. I have old screenshots that I deleted. I tried to find them, which is unfortunate because back in February, it was a lot of slow days, like a lot of zeros, a lot of like a few hundred. It took me probably 2.5 weeks to crack the 1,000 viewer mark. And then even that, it took a while till I was getting a couple to a few thousand. And then over the summer at my peak, like May, June, it was like 6,000 to 7,000 viewers per hour. That was the first time I started to feel overwhelmed. But even that was like, I think the most DMs I got in a night was 27. Not a crazy amount to get through the next morning.
That's a lot.
Especially because out of that.
That's crazy.
It is, but take into account too, some of these people are just like totally asking random stuff or they're not serious. Sure. But it's a good number that, if you do that 4 to 5 times a week, I definitely have cracked 100 DMs in a week before. So it keeps the business going, which is super nice. And you get a few serious people out of each group, each cluster. I was filling my appointment books every single day with calls for 3 weeks straight at one point. And now half my appointments are still just calls with random TikTok people.
Yeah. I mean, 100 DMs in a week from this strategy, that's more than most agents will get in a year.
Yeah, for sure.
Just posting on Instagram.
Correct.
For free. Exactly. So again, with the DMs, you just say like, DM me if you want to know more, or do you ever say, if you're looking to sell, DM me the word sell. If you're looking to buy, DM me the word buy. Like,
I haven't done any of those ones yet. The closest I've gotten to like some kind of automation along those lines is TikTok has. Are you guys familiar with the Service Plus they're pushing out?
No.
It's weird because the way they market it is for business, but on my account I'm personal. But then it keeps marketing this business tool, so it's identified some part of how I run it. And the Service Plus is where you input a form. And it'll let people either fill out a contact form or it'll let people open a chat with you. And there's already a message there waiting. So my message just says like, hey, let me know whatever it is you need advice on, looking for help with, or have a quick question about, and I'll get back to you ASAP. But you can custom the prompt however. So that one, if people just click the button and go to that, then they pop in with whatever. But I haven't done any of like comment sell or comment buy or any of that yet.
Yeah. I just meant that like that would help categorize it, even if you don't have automation.
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
What do you think about multi-streaming? So as Jason said, how he would fake like he was on YouTube, which is hilarious. That's a really funny thing to just picture your eyes going over there.
Oh, what's up? Like, how are you? Yeah, good to see you. Okay.
God, the chat's going off right now. There's 40
crazy
people
over on Tumblr.
Are you doing this, or why not do this on YouTube and Instagram simultaneously?
Honestly, just not digging into the thought process too much yet. Instagram, I finally have built a little bit of a following on there. I wasn't doing it on there for a while just because I felt like I didn't have enough followers to get, like you said, Instagram really doesn't push out your live. So now I'm finally in a spot where I'm starting to consider doing the lives on Instagram. I do like the multi-streaming idea of doing it all at once, because if you have 3 to 4 slow ones, all of a sudden you're busy left and right. I think the risk there is, if one gets busy, then you might have some people feeling left out on the other, which is what it is.
Neglecting.
But yeah, definitely. I have a friend right now. She does 30 minutes on TikTok, then 30 minutes on Instagram, because she has different levels of following on both. And I told her, like, why don't you just do them at the same time? Because you can tackle both comments at the same time. And her TikTok is a little bit on the slower side. So I don't know. It's another one of those building out pieces that I got to kind of tap into.
Yeah, you can use Ecamm or like Restream. There's a couple softwares out there that'll restream to like multiples. I don't know if TikTok is included in those, but I know Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. I think you can go to all those at the same time using like a third party like OBS. But then, I mean, worst case scenario is if literally like if you're doing it this much, you just get two phones, right? Or just get like an old phone, and then you can log in
without a doubt.
two at the same time if you just want to do two.
What is the live stream shopping app that Gary Vee won't stop talking about?
Whatnot.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
it's for sports cars.
It's for sports cars? Yes.
You can do so like Twitch and Kick are always like it started off as like gaming, but now it's like QVC almost, like it turns into that where they're selling something. You know what I mean? And so Whatnot is the mobile version where it is very similar. It's all live streams, but it's just people selling like sports cards and collectibles right now for the most part.
So Gary is so bullish on live selling right now. This is like his new TikTok, right? Is Whatnot. Mm-hmm. And there's always a ton of people saying, well, I'm a real estate agent. What should I do? And he's like, well, you're not going to sell a house live, right? Like, it's not like you're going to get bids and people are actually going to opt in, and you can't purchase thing with the click of a button yet. But you've, kind of mastered the beginning of where this potentially could go down the road of whether you're selling direct houses or selling products or whatever it is. Like, you're in the right space, which is live streaming, which is extremely popular right now. And just having the ability to do this on camera, which I think puts you in a different level of content creation, because most agents won't do this. 99% of the people, including myself, watching this episode probably won't do this. 100%. And that's fine. But like, this is untapped, right? Bailey just started doing this. He got 100 DMs in a week from doing it. He's closed a few deals from it. I think you said you have like 8 or 9 clients like in the work that you're actively talking to, showing houses to right now, just from going live Monday through Thursday for, 45 minutes. And if your content isn't working, why not try this? Right? Like, you didn't know if you were going to be good at it from the beginning. It's not like you went in there necessarily with the plan. You just kind of winged it, right?
Yeah, for sure. And my favorite part has been the agent attraction. Has been super underrated.
Yes. Of course.
Then there's the real layers.
Of course.
So yeah. Speaking of, the whole entire show was
I had to put it in there, but I've got 4 agents that joined me for meeting me on TikTok. So it's
that's important too.
It is important. You also mentioned though, you're like, I don't know why agents wouldn't do this. I mean, there's got to be a humbling layer to like going 6 months and having streams with nobody on there, right? So that's why agents won't do it. You know what I mean? It's just like sitting there talking to yourself. Immediately, I'm not going to ageism this thing, but I imagine 80% of realtors are out on this. There's probably only 20% that even use TikTok. Then the ones that like would go and know how to set up and do a live. Then the ones who would sit there for 6 months and talk to nobody with the egos that real estate agents have, it's just not going to happen. So like I think that you're going to find maybe if this video, we circle back 1 year from now, I bet you there's 5 that listen to this episode and then implement it and then get clients out of it. And those 5 are going to crush and thank Bailey.
Lives are going to thrive. That is exactly right. Bailey, one more question on the TikTok live aspect of it. So if someone DMs you, say like they're interested, like, and you said you have 2 or 3 until you actually get them on a phone call. What are you saying in those conversations? Is there anything to like where you actually send the phone number saying, hey, let's just like take this to a phone call, or like how do you work your way into that?
Yeah, if they send me a pretty detailed message, which isn't too often, but if it's detailed or lengthy, I'll just immediately hey, sounds great. Would love to help you with A, B, and C that you mentioned. When's a good time for a quick 10-minute call? If the first message is a little more vague, which is much more common, then if they're saying, hey, I'm looking to buy I'll reconfirm, hey, you were looking in this location, right? Or hey, you were looking in this time frame, right? And they'll be like, yeah. I'll be like, cool. Would love to help you plan that out. When's a good time for a quick 10-minute phone call? Lately, I really haven't been going past that 2 back and forth. If I do, it's usually them asking me questions back before they give me the phone number. Some people too, just in the first message, be like, hey, call me at this phone number.
Yeah.
That's
awesome.
Heavenly. Yeah, that's the best.
I wonder also if, like, do you promote these lives on other platforms? Like, would you promote on Instagram saying, hey, I'm going TikTok live at 5:00 or something like that?
Every now and then when I remember to, I'll put a quick thing on my story saying, hey, going live, and I never remember ahead of time. So it'll be like, hey, I'm going live right now, or I'm live right now, or I'm going live in 10 minutes. But every now and then I'll do that. And usually it's just more agents watching me. A lot of the agents, especially in my immediate team, have been very interested in how the live streamings work. So they like to watch and kind of take some notes. But like you said, like a lot of them won't do it. I taught my whole team 3 weeks back to back doing social media training. And of those 3 weeks, the number one question I got was about the live streaming, because everybody in my office knows that's what my main thing is. And then of everybody that came up to me and was like, had questions, feedback on it, I've talked to 2 who've gone live, and one of them did it once and one of them did it twice.
Untapped, like Jason. This is
like a month ago.
Let us know in the comments if you're watching this and you might actually try a live stream. I want to see how many people are actually going to take on this strategy. If you go live, you will stand out from the crowd. And if you're an agent looking to stand out from the crowd, Reminder Media is a resource you have to check out. You get your own branded print and digital magazines, email newsletters, and social media content. Reminder delivers these resources to your contacts on autopilot, keeping you top of mind with your database. All you got to do is focus on your follow-up calls and watch referrals and repeat business come in. Use the link below to check out Reminder Media. We are going to move on to Marketer of the Week. We have Shannon Gillette, who just posted a viral reel that shows why testing the market rarely works.
Are trying to sell their home. Person A hires an experienced agent with a great marketing plan, but they decide to price their listing high, above market value, to leave room for negotiation. Person B also hires an experienced agent with a great marketing plan, but they price a bit below market value to generate demand. 1 month later, looks like this. Person A has had a ton of views online, but barely any showings, and the showings they have had has said their home is priced too high. Now they're thinking of dropping the price. Person B, they got thousands of views online, lots of attention, tons of showings the first weekend. Their home had multiple offers, and it's already sold and closed. So what went wrong here? Well, in real estate, even the best marketing plan in the world can't help your home sell if your price is too high. Your agent could put your home on a Super Bowl commercial seen by millions, but if the price isn't right, no marketing can really help you. Without an experienced agent, you risk overpricing, fewer showings, and your home sitting on the market, costing you time, money, and opportunities, because you'll ultimately sell your home for less than if you would have priced it right from day one. If you are thinking of selling your home, you'll want a copy of our free Seller's Guide comment guide, and I'll send it to you.
Shannon's been crushing lately. I feel like we've had her on as Marketer of the Week 3 or 4 times in the last few months with these little viral talking head videos.
So good. I just thought the comparison, the storytelling, obviously commenting the word guide to get her seller's guide, just a great piece of content right there to show the comparison of what happens when you price yourself high versus low. Shout out Shannon Gillette. All right, that's an episode. Bailey, thank you so much for coming on and giving us this TikTok live strategy. Thanks, was enlightening. It was enlightening, honestly. Like, I don't think a lot of people are going to use it again, but I think if you do, look what happens. 100 DMs in 1 week. Bailey, where can people follow you on Instagram or TikTok?
Both Instagram and TikTok are at BaileyDixon_Realty.
Awesome. All right. So go follow Bailey. Go follow Jason Cassidy. We'll see you next week on The Walkthru.
Thank you, guys.